Hi, this is a short video for Tim Trollinger. This is our 1999, I think it's EuroVan instrument cluster. I did found the problem with the cluster. I corrected, I resolved everything back, and let me show you some of the captures because I obviously already have it together. Was doing just a test to make sure everything is fine. So just show you this is your cluster. Sorry for the glare, but I'm recording on my screen on the office. So that's just to show that this tab was broken. This is before the repairs. This is just to show how it looks right in this corner. Before I work on your cluster, I also resolder all these and clean all these connections in here. I have to remove this and resolder as well. I put it back. I don't know, maybe you're using that as a separate ground. I cannot see that here, so I will just put it back and leave it as is. Well, this is the repair, so let me go back because I think the picture since, yeah, this is areas that I found. The problem was loose connections on the solders, repairs that was previously done here. So I removed the jumper that was here and fixed the other side of the board too. Should have taken pictures of that, but I didn't. But yeah, so all this area was redone by me, as you can see, and so is the other side because it was not a proper connection. This was not even, I mean, it was doing connection, but I bet you with vibration and everything, it was kind of like cycling the cluster. And this, I think, is your concern. All right, so I'm going to turn it on. Normal startup when you have no battery power. All right, that's just to see all the lights and all the blinkers and high beam. I'm going to set the fuel and temperature and then give the cluster some speed. Everything is working nice and normal. I had a running probably I was at least a good hour, and I was able to reproduce before yours. I mean, I was like, what I did to reproduce it was while I'm doing this, I was shaking the cluster, and I was able to reproduce. One only thing that I would like to tell you, well, you can see everything is nice and smooth. Everything is working good as far as that. Let me just keep going with the test, and let me give you the recommendation at the end, because yes, put this back to normal setting. I'm going to put this into overheating mode. You'll see that this light will come on and then gauges are going up, which is the proper response. Going back into a proper location. So all that is working indeed 100%. I had things that I noticed is some of the clips that hold the board in place are broken. Kind of like not fully broken, but the actual tip is kind of like an arrow style of tab in here. One there is actually missing in this side of the bottom, and then this one is still good. But when you plug this, if you have it all together, it might not be all the way in. So I would recommend you to make sure that when you plug the cluster, it clips in firmly, because it's very easy to do that thinking that it's actually clipping. Let me show you this. Let me turn this off. All right, let me turn the speedometer off and entire cluster off. Let me stop the video 1 second. All right, so the reason I'm mentioning that is because the connector on your vehicle, let me get my connector here. So this is the connector, right? So the connector will plug into the case, not into the board, like clipped. Like these clips are meant to be secure on this outside uh, I don't know, case, right? The actual board is the one that has the pin and the connector. So if I plug this here, let me try to do this with you in the video. So let me move this cluster 1 second this way. So we might think that is fully clip because you heard that, but I hope that you saw that because I'm going to keep the camera here. I'm going to push the cluster from the other side. It's a little hard to do, but So right now what is happening is this is not fully seated. You see, it's like I want you to see right here. Let me get my other hand in here. Just keep an eye on here. Let me get a little light so you can see what I'm talking about. Trying to get you to the idea because this has no solution. You're gonna have to do this on the car because of those broken tabs. So while I'm clipping this, I'm gonna try to keep it steady. You see right there? You see? I can clip it in there, but all I did is push the board out. So let me tell you what to do. Well, actually, I can probably just spin this over because you're gonna have to pretty much remove the lens on uh, before installation to make sure that you are indeed clipping the board. So you can just go ahead and push here. I'm gonna uh, um, I'm trying to show you with one hand is a little bit hard because I hope that you can see the flexing of the cluster, and it's trying to go into the connector. But so you're gonna have to with both hands, because if I put the camera down, let me do this. All right, what I did is with both hands, I hold the cluster and I can push kind of like in this motion in, and now it's all the way in. Let me show you now the back side. I didn't unplug it, everything is the same way, but now we can see that the distance that we had before here is now normal. Before it was pushed in, and again, you might think that it's good and perfect connection when it's not. And maybe that's the reason you are using this ground because I'm not using this. I think this is just a ground plane. I'm not sure where you're using that, but I think it might be because the board is being pushed because of these broken tabs. So again, by this tab not having that secure lock, is letting the board be flexed in when you're installing it because this tab right here is no longer working and this one is no longer working. So that is not holding the actual board in place because again, this one is broken. This one is still here, but it's not grabbing the actual kind of like hook is done. All right, so I hope that these can shed some light in your installation and you will be happy with your car because as soon as this goes in and you keep it in place, it ain't gonna come out. And you don't have to be removing and installing. So this is just for the first time installing it, and that's it. All right, Tim, I'll be calling you, collecting payment, and send this tomorrow your way. Thank you so much for your business. Talk to you. See you next time. Bye bye.